What's up, guys? Took a little road trip this evening. Picked up this leather Mopar steering wheel. It's got the same buttons and everything as mine does. I don't know if you guys know the difference or not, but mine has this like styrofoam kind of cheap looking material. I don't really like that look, so found a really good deal on this one locally out of a parts Jeep. They go for about $150 to about $200 on eBay used, so really happy about that. I rented a steering wheel puller from the auto parts store, and you guys are probably wondering what's in the box here. I also picked up some stock tail lights out of a 2013 as well, same year as my Jeep. Yeah, these are in great condition. They're basically brand new. Reason why I got those is because if you guys have watched the wheeling videos, you'll know that I smashed my tail lights out at the off-road park. Plus, these are tinted too. They don't really look that well up close, so the stock ones will make it look a lot cleaner. Got them tail lights in. Only took about 2 minutes to put them in. Look brand new. Looks super fresh. I really do love this steering wheel though. This is the original Mopar, leather wrap steering wheel. I'm pretty sure that these fit, like any JK steering wheel will work for any JK. I might be wrong, so don't quote me on that. I've just seen people put, the newer steering wheels into the older model, the older interior JKs, which I still love. So, putting these in there is just pretty cool because you don't really see that every day. I do suggest that you disconnect the battery anytime you're working on anything electrical, just in case, you don't want the airbag to do anything goofy while you're working on it. So you're wanting to remove two 10mm bolts behind the steering wheel, like where the volume controls are. It's the very bolt on the back. There's one. Alright, so to show you guys where that bolt, those 10mm bolts came out, was right there. Not on this hole, but on the back one. So just one on this side, one on the other side. So once those two 10mm bolts are out, it'll allow the horn and the airbag to fall out. Alright, so now this is able to slide out, and you're going to be able to disconnect 1, 2, and 3. In theory, you're going to be able to just pinch these and pull up just like that. So I'm going to disconnect it from the harness right there, the little plastic clip, just to give me some more room. I'm just going to slide the screwdriver, the flathead, into the top and kind of pry out on it. There is a little ridge right there for it to catch. So that's disconnected now. Alright, so there you have your horn and your airbag on one little capsule. It's pretty cool. Once you get that out, there's a little white clip that you kind of get your fingernail underneath right here and kind of pull out on it. That one was very easy to get out. It's just got your standard little clip right here. Yeah, so there's your clock spring back there, and that should be all of the wires. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to impact this. I think it's a 13mm. Take that off, and then I'll assemble my steering wheel puller and try to pull this out. So that came out with these. It looks like it has some orange Loctite on it, which I've never seen before. I've only seen blue and red. So now I have the bolt out. I'm going to go ahead and assemble the steering wheel puller and try to pull the steering wheel off of the shaft. Okay guys, so I finally rigged something up on the steering wheel puller here. There's about 1 million different combinations you can do. You got different fins here. These are close together. This one's further apart. This is just, a generic puller, so it wasn't for the Jeep or anything. I knew the Jeep was going to be kind of weird to do, but then I ended up taking out those shackles and just bolting it directly to the fins. I got one right here and one up here, and I was able to do the trick. So It's coming out slowly but surely. Just being very careful with these wires right here. So I'm also holding the steering wheel with my knees so it doesn't turn when I crank. Alright, I say that got it. Now I'm just going to back this tool off right here and then pull it off by hand. Alright, so now that that's broke free, I'm going to be very careful with these wires as they're slipping through the back opening right here. Alright, so there you have it. There's the steering wheel itself. You know, you still have this white and black connection that come with it. And that's for your audio controls and stuff like that. Okay guys, so now you're just left with the clock spring right here. I'm going to leave this nice and center. I do believe that this pin right here helps it align, you know, with the steering wheel. Also, something else that I was looking for when I was doing this swap was that if it had an alignment notch right here on this shaft, so, you know, I'll know if the steering wheel is straight where the old one was. So that's a useful little tip there if you guys were wondering. Alright, so here we have our new leather steering wheel. I'm gonna go ahead and just pop these cables through right here. Alright, so I kind of shimmied the steering wheel back and forth a little bit, just barely, as I was applying a tiny bit of pressure. So, you know, the casting of the steering wheel was able to settle into that shaft right on the alignment splines. Now that that is seated on the shaft, you guys can see it's got a little bit more ways to go. Yeah, you guys can see the little pin that I was talking about earlier with the orange and green paint on it. It just goes through that slot on the casting right there. These are the two wires that came with the steering wheel. You know, the white one's gonna plug up here, and the black one's gonna plug up to the airbag, along with these two wires. As you guys saw, I hit this nut with an impact, the 13mm, and it drove the steering wheel all the way flush. And I held the impact on there after it hit flush, so it's probably a little too tight. So I'm gonna back this off now that this steering wheel is seated, and I'm gonna torque that to 40 foot-pounds is what they call for on projectjk.com. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. That's just what I'm gonna put mine to. That's what they said, so I'm gonna feel better once I was at 40 foot-pounds. It didn't seem too tight when I took it off either, so. Alright guys, so I got my torque wrench out. I want to set it to 40 pounds. That's 40 foot-pounds right there. Alright, now that's torqued. Double check that. I'm gonna go ahead and start plugging stuff back in. So, like, you know, this white clip that just goes up here on the clock spring, that snaps into place. The last major step that we have is putting in, you know, the airbag and the horn right here. I like to connect the thin black wire because it's a lot easier to get to once it's disconnected like this. Alright, so once that's connected, I'm going to put that back in its spot on that clip right there. And then finally connect these two right here. Alright, all three connections are in. They're nice and solid. Clock spring is connected back there. Everything's centered. The bolt is torqued to 40 foot-pounds, double checked. Now it's time to throw this back in. Just like that. And now we'll put in those 10mm bolts back there. Alright, so that still presses like it should. Steering wheel feels great. Now it's time to connect the battery and make sure all the controls and buttons work. Alright guys, give you guys some shade here so you can see that the lights do work. I've got the battery connected. Alright, so I'm gonna go on the radio here and see what we got. See if try the left side. Yeah. Alright. Volume controls work, controls on the back, this side, all these should work. I'll try these real quick. Let's see here. Okay, cool. So these work fine. I'm gonna test out the horn to make sure that still works too. Yeah, it still works. Also gonna see if, check the clock spring. So put on the blinker. Yeah, okay, so that still works good. Yeah guys, I posted on Instagram about me upgrading to the steering wheel and some people asked me to make a video on it, so I just wanted to give some information to you guys. Alright guys, so that's it for the steering wheel swap. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video. It was a pretty simple install / swap, so you just have to make sure you take your time on everything.